welcome to the RIP 28 podcast, the RIP 28 podcast. It's a spot where a couple of fellas can get together and discuss a couple of issues going on in the world today. We're going to talk about a few things, some of the things you might want to talk about, some things you might not want to talk about, but we're going to keep on talking. I am your host, Sylvester Williams. They call me Slider Sports Guy. I'm joined by four of my real good friends. We'll start off in the top left corner. How you doing there, Mr. JK?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show today. Ready to get in on these topics and give y'all I'll say some advice. Some average dudes talking about on the podcast today.
Here we go. Moving on over to the next cat. Mr. Nesbitt, what's going on, brother?
What it do? See Nez in the thing, man, ready to get it popping, man. I think we got some good stuff to talk about today.
I hear you. Down on the other side, the educator's educator. What's going on, LB?
Man, it's Beezy the Great, the educator's educator. I don't know what JK talking about. Ain't nothing average about Beezy. Y'all some average guys. Let's get it.
All right, rounding it all out. My man, Mr. Salt, what's going on?
What's up, family? It's your man Salt, probably the coolest cat out the bunch. But enough about me. Let's get into the topic.
Hey, LeBron, we didn't want to say below average, so we just said average.
I know you put you in a different category, baby.
There you go. As we get things going here, we like to let everybody know the different ways you can reach out to us, reach out and touch us, reach out and communicate with us, man. For those of you watching on YouTube right now, you know you can watch on YouTube, but make sure you click on that subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Twitter. We're at the RIP28 podcast. Facebook, RIP28. You can hit us on Instagram, RIP28 podcast. We got to get a little bit more active on that Instagram, fellas. We'll figure that one out. SoundCloud and YouTube right there at the RIP28 podcast. But make sure you click on it. Make sure you subscribe. And also to the other ones out there, the other people out there, we need some sponsors. We can be brought. We can be paid for. So go ahead, put your money where your mouth is and go and get your advertising on right here on our show. Now, let's jump into today's show. Juwan gave it away a little bit. One thing we love about this show, we get to give our opinion on what's going on in the world, what's going on in society. But also, we're starting to get a little bit of a following. We're starting to get people who like us, who appreciate the knowledge that we give. And what they're doing, they're using that email address. And I'm shocked too, man. They're hitting us in our DMs, hitting us in our emails to get advice, man. They want to get advice from the fellas. They want to have some questions going on in their life. And so what we decided to do, we said we're going to take out today and we're going to answer a few of those emails and have a little advice column for the people today. So we want to start off our first one, fellas. The first one we want to start off is stay or go. I like this. Let's stay or go. Start off, what up? I'm a single black male with 3 kids, all by the same mother, but their mother don't want to see me happy. I do all I can to take care of my kids, but she wants a relationship. I'm past that as we've grown apart. Things I used to like when I was younger don't impress me anymore. She hasn't shown much growth, and I had to move on, but I love my kids. I'll do anything for them, but I can't be with their mother. I'm all for a 2-parent household, but I don't see this being productive. Fellas, am I wrong, or should I just make it work for my kids' sake? Give me the real. Oh, man, we got a brother who want the real, man. We got a brother who want the real. Chance, you bite now. I see you going man. Talk to me, Chance.
First of all, he got 3 kids with the same mama, and they ain't married. So that's one thing. If they was married, I say it's cheaper to keep it that boy. It's cheaper to keep, but they ain't married, man. If you don't like the girl, man, don't be with her. I mean, you can take care of your kids without living with your baby mama. I mean, that's a crazy question, man. He know the answer to the question. He just wants somebody to tell him. You know what I'm saying?
He need
That's how I
that
feel about it.
reassurance. He need that reassurance from the people.
I'm like, man, if it ain't gonna be a healthy household, don't do it. You co-parent from afar.
Yeah, because
Hey,
if you try to stick it out, if y'all get into it, a toxic relationship kind of will carry over to the kids. And they don't need that in their life. So sometimes it's better not just to be with that person, even for the sake of the kids.
Yep.
Hey man, you can't make them all happy, man. Can't make them all happy. And it wasn't her turn. It wasn't her turn to be happy with this guy. I mean, 3 kids, like Chan said, y'all not married yet. You not happy. If you sign those papers, you're gonna be real unhappy. So I say just go ahead and co-parent, man, and make the best of the situation for your kids, man, so they can grow up happy and not be entangled in some grown people mess.
Entangled, huh?
Don't get entangled in there. Don't let the kids get entangled, man.
I'm gonna tell you fellas what y'all missing. What y'all see, sometimes with these letters, man, you got to read between the lines. You got to read what ain't there. Now, this man done had 3 kids by this chick now. So he done been with her for a while. Kid, I'm pretty sure the kids ain't 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? So he done been there for a while. So apparently he done like this chick. They've been together for a while. They together, everything was going good. But some new pussy slid in his life. I hate to be crass like that, but that what happened. Let's be honest. He just ain't come out and say, hey, I think I want to move on. I think, I think I need to move on. He done had some new strange slide into his life. And that's why he making that decision.
Slide.
This man he don't want to be happy. He just got new strange slide in his life.
Hey, Sly, well, them 3 kids that added a little bit of weight, and what he used to like when he was younger, it ain't there no more. So when she was splitting, coming down off that pole and doing all that, he was all for it. Coming to her. But when she couldn't get 3/4 of the way, he was like, "Well, I gotta go now." The hand light is on the wall.
She got to put some gloves on to get up there now. She got
you gotta grease her, lather her down, and make her sweat to get up there. So he ain't got time for all that no more.
Hey,
he got time for it. He trying to trade in for a new model. He just trying to trade in for a new model.
But
I'm gonna go a little bit different because I know y'all say you think I'm
of
saying
course.
Can you make it work? Look, he got 3 kids, and if let's say you go with another female, right? Your life's gonna be difficult just because you got to deal with her, and you got 3 kids. That's she gonna hit you for child support. It's gonna be hard. Will it be harder leaving or will it be harder staying? That's what I gotta ask myself.
JK, if he's not happy now, what is he gonna do? It's like they said, they've been together for years, obviously with 3 kids. I mean, how much more trying is he gonna do?
Maybe she could change. I don't know. Maybe I'm the optimist. I'm hoping for the best, but
no, you're light skinned. You're light skinned. That's what it is.
That light skin song.
Yeah. Light skinned blood. Man, listen, JK, you ain't getting applesauce out of a turnip, bro.
Put like this. I know a couple of guys who got 2 kids by another female, and to have another relationship, it's just difficult. And the women take them through the ringer to spend time with their kids, to get the kids. They still provide for the kids, and it's just. I don't know, but
it's a maturity level. It's a maturity level.
I don't know. It's a difficult decision.
But my thing is, though, you don't. For me, I stand by what I said. That man ain't just all of a sudden said, "Hey, I need to move on." Something makes him move on for a reason. He done found some new strange out there, dog. That's what it is. He done found something else out there to make him want to move on.
Hey, Sly, well, if you look, like you say, look deep into that letter, he said she's not showing much growth. So if that's true, maybe she's not trying to build with him in that way, and that's the reason why he feels that way. So you got to look into that too.
Nah.
But you know how people is with these letters. They only show their side of the story.
But
What
man,
it is,
you stayed around for 3 kids. You got to deal with it.
what it is,
You should have left after one.
he done went and picked this old lady up from her job at the call center, and he seen the call center manager was looking real good. And he said, baby, why don't you try to be the manager? That's what it is. That's the growth he's talking about. He done found a chick make a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? So he ready to make that next step and move on up, man. That's all.
Possibility.
Just we'll move on up. Oh well.
Oh man.
Let's say
Oh,
this out.
man.
Young brother who wrote this, most of us say go ahead and leave. Most of us say go ahead and leave, but just be prepared for what you're going to have to do. That's all we got to say. Be prepared.
Yeah, 3 kids is a lot of child support, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. You might kiss that little check goodbye, dog.
Hey, boy, I hope
he better be showing some growth.
Hey, the other chick he got, she better be making bank.
I'm telling you, she better be to cut and come up for your shortfall you about to have in a little bit. Hey,
bro.
Uber is always high, brother.
Hey, she gonna be the second chick gonna be the one that get cut short on everything. You know, I ain't got no money to go out to no movies. You can go ahead and cut that. Child support already got me. So he done. Child support.
You ain't
cut him out,
vacation.
man.
You ain't vacationing abroad.
No, sir.
Vacation driving distance. As long as they got a La Quinta Inn, you can go there.
Vacation at Mama and them house. I'm gonna go down to Atlanta, but I'm gonna go to Mama and them house.
Go holler at my cousin.
All right, fella, let's move on. Let's move on to this next one over here. Move on right here. All right. Help me help myself. That's what we all about around here, man. We're about people helping themselves. Dear Rip 28 Podcast, I am a black female in my 30s. I've had a lot failed relationships in my past. I am in a fairly new relationship with the man of my dreams. I really want this relationship to work. He is such a great guy. I think I know what men like, but my past has shown me that they really can't stand what I do. What can I do that my new man would like me to do? Sign, want to be happy. First of all,
stop stripping.
Want to be happy. I need to take English 101 again.
Most dudes don't like it when the girls strip, so.
But what can this lady who hadn't been, who's been in some failed relationships, what can she do to make this one different?
The opposite of what she did in the other one.
And stop stripping.
Because obviously it ain't working if she done had a lot of failed relationships.
A lot of
keep doing it. A lot. You can't keep doing the same things, man. That's that growth. I guess that's the guy's girlfriend that wrote the first letter. I guess they need to hook up and see if they can get it right. I don't know, man, but I guess, man, you gotta stop being so available for one. Like Salt said, if you're out there stripping, man, you gotta stop that. Us guys don't want everybody to see what we seeing at night. I can't pillow talk with somebody that's sliding scene.
All right. Who else will jump on there?
I'll say this, man. We're in our 40s, close to our 40s now, so it's a little different. But in your 30s, I know one thing that kind of would throw dudes off, that girls kind of think that we like, but we don't. They watch them little killer shows that the wife killing the husband all the time and stuff like that. And they want you to sit there and watch it with them. And you sitting there like, man, she trying to figure out a way to kill me or what? What's going on? Just stuff like that. And then they quality time is like sitting there watching TV and shows that you don't like. And we rather be playing Madden or something, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, understand that we ain't the same. I ain't your girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend. We ain't gonna like all the same things. Give people space, give people time, stuff like that.
Tell her she need to learn how to pick up them sticks.
Yeah. Hey, if she start beating me, then it's gonna be a problem too, though.
You gotta learn some Madden.
Look,
There's one thing though I will say that I think a lot of females run into is, sometimes they get so desperate they want to find a man, settle down, that they start to kind of compromise and think about, oh, well, what can I do to kind of please them so I can keep them? And I don't know about y'all, but I prefer a woman, or it's more attractive if she's comfortable in her own skin, and she's, it's not just about me, but she has her own stuff going on. She's comfortable. She knows herself well. So, maybe stop trying to be so much of a pleaser and just kind of know who you are and know what you have to offer. And then the right man will come along.
See,
Talk like them dominatrix.
see, that's a delicate balancing line right there. So that's a real because it's cool to know who you are and to be comfortable who you are, but then sometimes you get a little bit too independent. So that's a delicate balancing line, right? Get a little bit too independent, too sassy.
But the thing is, if they try to, you only see what they want you to see, and be just to satisfy you, 5 years down the road,
Yep, it don't work. I agree.
How they really are comes out, and then you think they crazy. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Hey man,
up front,
you talking
know
about
the person, see what you are up front.
so?
I
So
would
you
say,
saying don't see it?
yeah, I would say they at the beginning of the relationship. Like, why she's thinking like down the road, man, have fun. That's what the beginning relationship is. Have fun. It ain't gotta be
Stop worrying
complicated.
about what people think. Yeah,
Have
be you.
fun, be you.
Right.
Right now, you can say whatever you want to say. You can like it or not like it. So
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody ain't looking for Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. They ain't that WAP get on them, man. You know what I'm saying? They make good decisions when that WAP hit 'em. You know what I'm saying? If that WAP hits you, it's different, man. So I mean, I don't know, young sister. I wish wish we
But
could
maybe
help
she
you.
need that wet,
But
bro.
That might be
hey, she might.
That might be
that might be
the
Hey,
one of the
why I
issues.
failed so many
that
times.
might be. She might be like Grandma
Hey,
Cookies. I don't know. But that WAP would change the game.
hey,
I don't
it's
know if
plenty.
it'll make them stay, but it'll give you a longer relationship with that WAP.
Hey, it's plenty single WAPs out there, man. Y'all stop.
It is. It very much is. But it's a lot of them that's being taken care of too. So we can't just go off for that. I'm just telling you. I ain't saying I did. I'm just saying WAP is powerful. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? Let me kind of put all of this together right here. This lady, she was looking for advice on how to keep her man or how to make sure this new relationship work. Now, we all gave a whole lot different advice on what she can do to make this thing work. But what that proves is all men are different. Ain't nobody the same. The same thing you did 5 years ago for one relationship, and he thought you was crazy. He said, man, I'd never mess with this crazy bitch. That might be the thing that your new man like. That might be what your new man want. Now, I guess my advice would be, why the hell you asking us? Why don't you ask him? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you writing the letter. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching it. You watching, subscribing. We appreciate it. But here's the thing. Communication means a lot. Talking to that person, talking to your man means so much. Now, as men, true enough, we don't want to be talked to all the goddamn time. Sometimes, we don't want to hear a lot of talking, but just ask the dude what he like. That's my advice. Ask him what he like. He either gonna tell you what he like or he gonna tell you get the fuck on.
Yeah, a lot of dudes ain't real good at communication either, though. It's like you'll ask them what they like, and they're like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a dead end. Oh yeah, what you want for your birthday? I don't know. It don't matter. And then when you don't get them nothing, they got a problem. They mad. It's a complicated world out here.
Or she can maybe learn from past mistakes and ask the ex and kind of learn from their mistakes.
Stay away from that one.
Yeah, I
Another,
know they
another way to
that
do
might
it.
be
I
bad
mean,
business.
Hey, one of my
Oh man.
you know, sun going down a little bit later on.
Hey,
But you know you ain't calling no ex, boy. You gonna get your head cracked.
You know you.
oh no, I ain't one of them. This by her, not
hey,
me.
hey, but for real, Sly said something that was real, that was pretty good though. Every guy is different, man. Yeah, I mean, what I like may not be what the next guy like, or and vice versa. I guess you just got to kind of be in a relationship long enough and not try to make these determinations too early. You know what I'm saying? Find out where the relationship is going, and is he worth finding out if you know what he like? Because if you're not gonna be with him, it don't matter what he like. You know, so let the relationship develop a little bit and then try to attack it from that way, and he'll eventually show you what he like. He'll show you. If he don't like it, you'll be able to tell as well. So just kind of let the relationship develop and see where it goes.
That make a lot of sense. That make a lot of sense. While we're here, we don't want to go too far. We want to also let you guys know how important it is that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to make sure we get these numbers up. We need you to follow us on Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that type of stuff. We want to make sure that you do. Make sure you follow us and make sure you subscribe to us so we can get these numbers up.
Holla at your boys.
Holla at us, man. Holla. Let us know, man. You know, not only if you have advice, you know, you need advice, or maybe you just wanna, you know, tell us we're doing a good job, man. Leave some stuff in the comments, man. Let me know. Tell me how good looking I look. You know, other guys how
That's a whole.
they are.
Hey, it's Sunday.
Honesty is worth
Hey,
more than dishonesty. So tell the truth,
man.
especially
Hey,
with
I ain't
Sly.
no. Hey, I ain't no Bible thumper, but hey, boy, they say thou shalt not lie, especially on Sundays. So we gonna move on past that one.
All right. Let's get back to these questions, man. We're gonna get back to these questions. Here we go. To whip or not to whip?
Yes. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
Hello, podcast buddies. That's a white woman wrote that. Well, you know, offline.
Definitely. Hey, I looked at the love you, Julie and Tim.
I hope all is well during these tough times. I desperately need y'all help. I'm a 30-year-old white mother, told you. My kids are black. We are a great family and have great times and memories. We do a lot of great things. Our kids are well taken care of and have the most things they want. But there's one big issue that plagues my family. My husband and I agree on most issues, but there's one thing we can't agree on. The issue is discipline and when physical consequences are needed and used. I am more of taking things away and not allowing them to go places or do extracurricular activities. But my husband believes in whooping ass, being king of his domain. My parents didn't physically spank me and my siblings, but my husband received spankings from a young age. I am wrong. Is my husband wrong? How would you suggest we fight this issue? Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Love, Julie and Tim. I'm gonna go right here. Tim seems like a pretty good ass dude.
And I don't think Tim sent in the question with Julie. I think this is all Julie.
Yeah, definitely not. Hey, I
What's
know he
y'all
did.
think?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now. I talk about this with my parents every day. I'm cutting that ass. I believe in discipline. I believe in ruling with an iron fist. I mean, I'm not saying everything that my son does, he deserves his butt cut. But for most things he does, he deserves his butt cut. I mean, I just know how I was raised.
That's because
I
he
know
your
how I
kid.
was
He
raised.
bad like you were.
Exactly. So I know what the consequences gonna be down the road. I'd rather discipline my child than have somebody else, say the police, DJJ, discipline my child, because I look at it like this. When the school called, they're not calling anybody else but me and his mom. So when we go up there, nobody else is embarrassed but me and his mom. For our child is out of control. So I say discipline when they're young and teach them as they grow up how things are done. But if you don't start when they're young, I think you're gonna let them get a little too out of control.
Hey, I got 3 kids, so I got a little experience in this subject from Julie and Tim. Hey, when they're young, definitely put that paddle on them, put that belt on them. You know what I'm saying? But as they get older, man, like she said, taking stuff away. I mean, if you take a phone away from a kid these days, man, they go crazy. I mean, you'd be like, all right, I'm taking your phone. They do anything you ask them to do. I'm telling you. So, and times have changed, man, because back in our day, you know, it was whoop your butt for everything. Now it ain't like that. So I've backed off on spanking and all that stuff too. You know, you kind of got to be smarter. You're smarter than your kids. Think about that. So outsmart them and figure out a way to discipline them without whooping them all the time. And then you got to think about the origin of getting whoopings come from slavery. Black people got whooped all the time, you know what I mean? And then we just took that and we started doing it too, and that was the thing. But then if you kind of look at the world now, how many folks is violent? Who's more violent? Yeah, a lot of times, you know, people. If you be like, man, did you get a whooping back when he was a little kid, and now they out there fighting and shooting, gang banging and stuff now. And then some people who didn't get a whooping, they, you know, supreme citizens and stuff. So it's a difference.
I think that's your social circle who you hang out with. If they just as many crazy motherfuckers who didn't get their ass whipped as bro. Every time you see a serial killer, he ain't get his ass whipped growing up. I'll tell you that.
We might have to look at that research. I ain't sure.
Yeah, but I say it depends on the kid though. Like, for instance, I got 3 daughters. I don't whip them because I don't want them to see a guy putting their hands on them like that. And so, but if I had a son, I'd be punching that little dude in the chest. Let them know, because I want them to know. I want them to fear me. You know, my daughters, I want them to respect me, but I need to do it in a fashion such that they still want to come and talk to me, and that they're not physically scared of me. But my kid, my son, yeah, I want him to be, just so when he grow up, he'll think twice about trying to raise back up against me. So I'm all for whipping if it's a boy. Girls, I don't think the dude should be doing the whipping.
You know, it's funny. All us as young men, we had that one time in life where we had the test, where we tried to test Pop. The one time, I remember the one time I tried to test my Pop, I found out what that grown man strength was about. I didn't understand what grown man strength was. But I tell you, at 14, I found out what grown man strength was. You try to test my Pops that one time.
Hey, back when we was coming up, we had principal punching in your chest. He caught you doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Mr. Smith.
You know, it's crazy. You mentioned Mr. Smith, man. I was at we went to Mr. Kill's funeral, and I sat beside Mr. Smith. And I was chewing some gum during the funeral. And he looked at me. He said, "Hey, take that gum out your mouth." I was 39 years old and took the gum out my mouth quick.
Hey, if you didn't, he's gonna punch you in your chest.
Slap you in the back of your head and make you spit it out at the same time. But man, you can't do that now, man. You know, back in the day, like you said, Mr. Smith and some of our coaches and elders in the neighborhood, man, if they caught you doing something wrong, man, they'll tear your behind up right there and let your parents know, because everybody believed in a village raising a child, because you couldn't be there 24 hours a day to say what Jawan or Mike or Chance or Sly was doing. But now you do that, man, you got to be ready to fight. I hope your hands is registered, because these parents are gonna test you.
Yeah.
They don't believe in that anymore. So you have to kind of tread lightly when you talk about discipline towards someone else's child.
Yeah. And I guess with you being in the school system, and Chance, you used to be, in the school system, y'all see that a lot. You see a kid, and I bet you think to yourself, man, somebody need to whip that boy.
Hey,
Hey.
I worked at a Catholic school at one time, so there used to be no holds barred out there. So hey, them nuns ain't playing with you, I'm telling
Put the cattle to you.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, I'm telling you, on the first day of school, they make you want to go in there and take your belt off and look for all the little kids that got silver caps in their mouth. If they got silver caps or braids or earrings, boy, you got hell on your hand. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you, those are the ones you need to steer clear of.
Look at this boy stereotyping.
I'm just telling you, it ain't stereotyping. Hey,
he done seen
hey, Terrence, I got the stats to prove it. And that goes for black or white. I'm just
Hey, but
telling you.
it do matter who the kid is too. I mean, if they just wilding out, it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? But some kids don't need with them. Some kids do. You know, you gotta be the adult in that situation to figure out what they need.
But also too, real quick, that's probably, why you see kind of more behavioral issues in school is because we are facing that kind of new age of discipline where, parents don't use the belt as much or don't effectively, discipline the kids. And when they go to school, they're not accountable. They think they can get away with anything. So that
They ain't
probably is a
scared of
testament
nobody.
to it. Yeah, exactly. They think they can just do whatever because no consequence. So.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. What I'm trying to do, I end up losing my last question, man. But I'm gonna pull this thing up. We got one more question we want to give before we get out of here. Before we end this thing off with.
Well, while you pull that up, Sly, let me just add about, kind of what I do with my boys. So I kind of take the approach a little bit of what everybody said. It depends on the kid. I do have 2 boys. I use a combination of kind of taking away things and also the belt. So I kind of take it like, a job, First offense, you get a verbal reprimand. We talk about it. This was wrong. But if you keep, repeat offender, then it gets to the belt. So, I try to give them a chance, learn from the mistake. But, if it gets to the point where it's not catching, hey, we gotta make it stick. It usually comes with a belt. So
How many times before termination, so?
we hadn't gotten that far. Usually the belt kind of takes care of it. So nah, I'll never get there. But usually, they straighten up by the first, second offense. Yeah.
Okay.
We ready for the next one, Sly?
Hey, I will say appreciate our special guest, Faison Love, up here.
Everybody got
Hollywood.
Everybody a comedian. I like that.
Big word. What a big word.
20,
You don't got my
40,
money.
60, 100, 120.
That's $100, Smokey. Quit
Don't
playing
play
with me.
I
hate him.
Whatever. We all comedians. We all comedians, huh? I'll tell you this. Here go our final question. White, black. Dear Rip 28 podcast, I'm a 26-year-old white. We got a lot of white women listening to our program. Where the women at? I know that.
Much love.
You know I live in Arkansas.
Oh, okay. That's what.
Hey, thanks, Jawan. Thanks, Jawan.
Why it be me?
Blame
the light skin dude.
I'm a 26-year-old white woman, and I have a 4-year-old biracial son. We got a lot of white women who like black men.
Duh.
My son is light with curly hair. You can tell he is mixed, but he cannot be mistaken for a white guy. His father is no longer in the picture, so I'm raising him on my own. I have so many questions on raising a black child. I didn't grow up around many black people, so I don't know a lot of black customs and how to be black. I have no order to white people who love my son, and he will definitely know how to act white. But how do I teach him to act black? White woman, black son. That gotta be one of Chan's friends right there in Arkansas. Didn't grow up around black folk. That's one of Chan's people.
It could be, but I doubt it. But man, that's a crazy question right there. White women with the black son. Hey, we don't teach nobody how to be black or white. You teach them how to be a good person. You can't, it ain't like, oh, I'm white, I act like this. Oh, I'm black, I'm supposed to act like this. It ain't supposed to be that way. Maybe it is in a lot of instances, but you just teach that person to be a good person and let chips fall where they may. Don't say, hey, he gotta act black. Like,
you know how to do the
she gonna put cornrows on him and gold teeth or what? You know how
to do the electric slide?
Huh?
You know how to do the electric slide?
Yeah. So she got to teach him the electric slide when the black car.
That's one lesson he got to learn. That's one lesson.
Crazy, man.
He got to learn that.
Oh man, slide that man, that's wrong on so many levels, slide.
But check this out though. This one thing I do think, and I think she seriously needs to do. I think he needs to have a good foundation of black people and what are, certain things that are just a part of our culture. And how to act black, I don't like that term either, Chance. I don't like them saying, this is how you act if you black. I don't like that particular term. But there are certain tenements of our culture that is undeniably us. You know what I'm saying? And I think what he needs to be put around positive black people. It was a show. I forgot the name of the doggone show I watched, but these white folk had adopted a black kid, and what they ended up doing, they had a similar situation. They ended up taking the black kid to a black karate dojo, and all these black men were there, with the kid helping, just being positive black men, seeing that. Just seeing that. Now, I joke about the electric slide. Not true enough, but he do need to learn how to do electric slide if he's black. Oh, another thing. But I think, being in situations around black people, positive black people. And I think learning about your culture, learning black history, because they're not going to teach them in school. I teach my son black history. I teach my son, because it's more to black history than Martin Luther King, So, teaching them about Frederick Douglass or W.E.B. Du Bois, teaching them about black history, teaching them that we wasn't all just slaves in Africa,
Yeah.
So.
Hey, you know what's going to happen though, right? She's going to have 2 mixed kids.
Yes.
What you mean?
She gonna drop him off at that black karate dojo, and sis ain't gonna say hello.
I agree with what you saying. So I put them around positive black people. I do a mentoring program down in Charleston. It's mostly African Americans, and we had a white couple who adopted a black kid. That's what they did. They brought him into the mentoring program so she could grow around a whole bunch of black kids and black positive role models. And just because as a black kid he probably has things inside him that they wouldn't understand, and so he could have somebody reach. And they actually helped out in the future as he got older, because he was in there he'd been in the program since he's like 3rd grade, and now he's like 8th grade. And so as he had issues, like one time he tried to raise up against his father, right? And so what he did, they did was call over a mentor to come and talk to him, right? Because we can connect a little bit better than they could connect with him. And so, but yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, you can't teach somebody how to act black or act white. People are people, and they're gonna click with who they click with. And if they like hanging around black people more so, then that's what they're gonna do. If they like hanging around white people more so, they like hanging around both. That's what they're gonna do. So
Hey, they sent Juwan over first. They sent him back. They like, get somebody black.
We need a real black person.
Hey, but I agree, man. You just gotta be who you are, man. But I would definitely expose him to both both races, his white side, and make sure that he knows his dad's side, even as much as possible, even though he's not in his life, because that is where his temperament and he gets some of his characteristics from his dad's side as well. So I think he needs to be in touch with both. But you can't pick and choose and say, this time you act black, and when you over here you act white. You got to be who you are, being comfortable with who you are.
And now one thing though, you know, because she was saying that his dad ain't in the picture and she's around, you know, majority of white people, she's not really around black people. So, I mean, look, as much as we want to tiptoe around this thing, they people who act white and they people who act black. I mean, and we've all known that black guy who act like a white dude. You know, we all know them. You know, I mean, we can tiptoe around it as much as we want, but the thing is, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to act white. It ain't a bad thing. But my thing is, if you act white and totally disregard your black side, and I think that's what she's worried about, and that's what I'm worried about. I don't even know the kid, but that's what I'm worried about with that kid. If he's not around anything black and he totally disregards his black side and just be a light-skinned Republican out there, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about, though. It's like what I talked about in my first comment. What is acting white? Just because you talk proper or what? I mean, that don't mean you act white just because you use proper diction and stuff like that. I mean, it's a difference, man. That ain't acting white just because you trying to be a good person and trying to better yourself. I think that's what people be saying sometimes. I don't like that.
I feel you. I totally feel what you're saying, but and you're right. You're right. It ain't no excuse for. We need to get over the thing. If you cool, that means you black, or what's cool or what's black. We kind of need to get past that. But my thing is more of culture. More of culture. It's just certain things that is unmistakably, undeniably our culture. You know. I want them to listen to some R&B growing up. You know.
Yeah.
You need to know how to recite lines from the 5 Heartbeat or Coming to America. You know?
Hey, you gotta know about Minister Society and Juice and all that. But check this out, Sly.
You can't be bumping Billy Ray Cyrus.
Ache and break your heart. Check this out though. Think about this to kind of piggyback on your point and add a little bit of color to it. Sly, think about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You got Will Smith and you got Carlton Banks. Kind of representing, you see what I'm saying?
Hey, hidden fact though on Carlton Banks. Carlton was the only real one on the show. Carlton, when Will got shot, Carlton was the only one to go and get his gun to go out. He wouldn't picked up the strap. Carlton lost his virginity to somebody. He went and boned somebody's wife. Carlton got on Soul Train and danced on. Carlton was the real one on the show. Will wasn't real.
Okay, now that we passed that, now just think.
I don't remember them episodes. Them must be the hidden ones.
Hey, check this out. Yeah, hey, all right, we got it, Sly. We believe you. We got you. But just think about what that represented. Even though they were both black males, one represented what we would consider the urban culture, and one represented suburban culture, kind of food, Silver Spoon type of kid.
He was actually on Silver Spoon. That's where he got his acting start, with Silver Spoon.
Boy, you were full of facts. But yeah, that's kind of what we see now. So it's kind of like the light skin versus dark skin thing, Jawan.
And light skin always win, baby. We always win.
All right, mute him, Sly. Mute him, Sly.
Y'all been out of style since the 90s, bro.
I can't tell, bro. I can't tell.
I just wanted to say though, I agree. What you said as far as exposure. I think that the mom should definitely make sure he still has some exposure to the Black culture. But I would also question, you know, if she still kind of has that connection with the father's family. I think not only just having a connection to the Black community, having connection to your Black family as well would be just as important to kind of know who he is, you know, to his immediate Blackness instead of just the culture itself. So I would encourage to possibly, you know, have that healthy relationship, if possible, with his direct Black family, you know, on the father's side, if possible. So I think that would also attribute to his identity as a person from his culture and also from his lineage overall.
Hey, so
Yes, sir.
I just said that. I just said that.
But maybe if you said use some bigger words and it said a little more intelligently.
Hey, so I think it sounds better when you said it though.
Appreciate you. Yeah. That was the point. Yeah.
I think it looked better when I shot my jump shot in your face too. So it's all the same. But that's another story for another day. But I said that though, I agree. It's not just the Black culture, but his family, because that's half of his makeup, his genetic makeup, and he needs to know that side as well, and why some things happen, and why he reacts to things this way, and I think that'll help him not just being around the Black culture.
I agree with you, bro.
Well, fellas, man, we gonna have to wrap this thing up, man. We're getting close to time. But wow, man, I really appreciate you brothers joining today, man. Had another great episode of the RIP 28 podcast. This time we did a little bit of an advice column for the people. Advice column for the people here on the RIP 28 podcast. Man, any parting words out there, Chan?
And not really. Just make sure y'all subscribe and listen, because we need that viewership up, and we're trying to do some things. So just holler at us, man. We love all the listeners, and tell your friends and tell their friend and tell their friend.
Sound good. What about you, LB?
Man, just love your process. Whatever you're going through, just love it, man. It's gonna make you a better person in the end. Stay strong. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Love y'all.
Salt Dog.
Yeah, just a short, out of everything, at the end of the day, love conquers all. So just remember that, move forward, and don't catch corona.
It's getting real.
Coronavirus.
JK.
Yeah, I was saying, just be real to yourself, man. Trust, be you. Be you. It's okay to be yourself. And sometimes it may not vibe well with somebody else, but at the end of the day, you're going to be happy being yourself.
Light skin and all. Yep.
Hey, you know we love you, Juwan, man. We just messing with you, but
I ain't worried about
probably
it.
get one.
We appreciate that, Al. Be sure.
You know, I gotta take it. I gotta be the best looking dude on the podcast. So
I ain't never liked you anyway, you pretty mother sucker.
All right, fellas. Well, man, another day, another episode, man. We appreciate everyone for coming out, checking us out. Make sure you subscribe. Once again, this is the RIP 28 podcast. It's a spot where we say some things you might like, we say some things you might not like, but we're going to keep on saying them anyway, man. Y'all have a blessed week. We'll see you next week here on the RIP 28 podcast.
One time for your mind.
Coronavirus.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you into me, hope you understand I am not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be. I got these guys like Austin, so all I can see is a bunch of enemies.